guys, welcome back to Release the Craftin'. This is Priscilla. Got a journal share for you today. This is my Edgar Allan Poe journal for a swap I have coming up with Miss Shayna. Those of you who have been following me on Instagram know that I've been working on this journal for about 2 months now. Had to take a quick break to deal with some health problems that popped up, but I'm feeling pretty great and I'm back and excited to finally get to share this thing with you guys. This bad boy here is so big, I can't even begin to stress to you guys how large this is. I didn't plan for it that way, but you know, you never do. This time I tried doing something different because the last swap I had with Shayna, I ended up making a journal that was too large for the cover I had, so it wouldn't ever fully close. So I made all the pages this time first, and then made the cover to fit, which worked out so much better. So I ended up with a journal that has a spine that's 3 3/8 inches, so almost 3.5 inches, and then the cover is 5 by 7/8 and 8 by 5/8, so almost 6 by 8 3/4. I don't know how everything ended up in 8s. I measure weird, I guess. I ended up with 8s. This journal was a lot of fun to make. I really love Edgar Allan Poe and his stories and his poems. So throughout this, I tried to add as many elements of my favorite stories and poems from him. I even had some fun and came up with some like dorky little elements that I really love, and I hope that you guys enjoy it too. For the cover, I used regular paper and layered in some corrugated cardboard that I colored with some Prima wax in silver and red, and I used some crackle paint on the black, and then I layered in some lace, and got these flowers from Renee Bouquets on Etsy, and so I colored those and tinted them with a little bit of black to make them match this look that I was going for. And then this is a piece of suede that I embossed, and then added some of those Tim Holtz roses to. And then this brooch is actually, it can be a brooch or a pendant, and it's only tied onto the cover, so Shayna can untie it and actually use this for whatever she wants. And then behind here, I added this little booklet that I made out of a freebie from Calico Collage. There's the man, Edgar himself. And when you unfold it, it's the entirety of the raven. Which I thought was just a really fun piece, and so I added it onto the cover. And I can never fold it right the first time, so I'm not going to try right now. For the spine, I used some lace appliques that I cut out of a big piece of lace that I have, and I added a chunky charm, which can be easily removed. There's that. There's a heart. There's some skulls in here. There's some shiny pieces of bling, a feather, some coins, because there's a bit of a rumor going around that Edgar was a bit of a gambler. Some rose beads, an A for Alan. I couldn't find an E or a P. Of course, the raven's claw, and a pen nib, because he was, of course, an author. And then this little Edgar Allan Poe locket book, which I put Shayna's initials in. Those aren't glued in, so she can pull those out and put whatever picture she wants to inside. Let's get into this bad boy. I added a lot of lace to the edge of the pages. Shayna likes lacy things, so I wanted to lace it up for her. And then there's charms hanging off of all the pieces. The closure is a piece of Sari Silk ribbon that I got from PrarieRoseLaces, also on Etsy. And then the whole book, you guys, I did with lots of help from a Etsy seller named Amy Joy. She's Hapa Chic Creative on Etsy. She makes junk journal kits, but she also makes custom kits for a really great price, you guys. Cheaper than some of the junk journal kits I've already seen on Etsy. So, I would definitely recommend getting in touch with her. She was really helpful. I gave her some keywords that I wanted, and she put all that together for me and made me a custom kit. And then also made an add-on when I requested an add-on. And then also came up with some envelopes to go with it, because I was telling her that I needed more envelopes. And so she came up with all that stuff for me. And I'm just really grateful, because without her I wouldn't have been able to make this journal. So definitely give her page a look. She's got some really cool kits. A lot of themed kits too, you guys, that I think you guys would enjoy. On the first page, I like to put a pocket or an envelope or something on the inside cover. Mostly because I know that when I journal, I end up with a lot of extra pieces of paper and notes, and so I like to have stuff to tuck in. This is an Annabelle Lee that I made using a Jane Davenport stamp and some Inktense pencils, I colored her in with and embossed the background, and then just kind of sprayed everything with gold. Those of you who know, Annabelle Lee is one of his famous poems. And then there's a card back here with one of his quotes, and on the other side is the entirety of Annabelle Lee, and I stenciled that into there. I really hope that I'm in frame. I had to come up with a new system for filming, because this book was so large that I could not fit it all into frame the way I usually do. So if this one actually looks better for you guys, let me know, and I'll just keep filming this way. So there's some vellum, some book page vellum. The first page of Amy's kit. I backed her pages with the Grunge Lace Kit from Dreamz Etc. Just because Shayna likes lacy things, and I didn't want to bulk up the book too much by backing all of the pages with cardstock. So I just printed out the Grunge Lace Kit on the back, and I thought they went really well together and with the overall theme. I used some rub-ons and some stencils on the pages. These are pages that I dyed black, quote-unquote, using food coloring and the Prima artisan powders, which I probably wouldn't use the artisan powder again. I took a lot of work to get the residue off of the pages, even though it gave a really cool, like, shadowy effect. But I do like how they turned out, so I am happy that they came out with this kind of mottled purpley black effect. I stamped some of the pages. I found this really cool journal at a half-price bookstore, just a plain journal that was Edgar Allan Poe themed, so I cut out a bunch of stuff from that journal to use for this. I was really excited for it. This was the first page in that journal, so Shayna can write her name in here. And then behind here is a top-loading pocket with a letter to Mr. Poe. Sometimes I can put these stuff back really quick, but sometimes I can't, so I don't want to fuss with it. Made little tiny charms to go on some of the pages, and then here's a tag from the kit. This corner pocket is actually something Shayna sent me in our last swap, and I colored it up and stamped it and sent it back to her. Here's an envelope that I embossed using a moth stamp with a little skull on it from Inkadinkadoo, I believe. And a little piece of ephemera. That's the raven scene. This little tiny pocket came from Amy's kit too. I glossy accented the candle and then made this little tiny tag to go with it. And then this paper is some velvet paper that I got from Hobby Lobby. And a little cameo here. Another piece of that lace I'm going to just cut out and add it to this page. Some more of these beautiful pages, some more stamping. This creepy tree stamp. There's this envelope here that folds out and has a little card that goes inside. A large piece of ephemera. I think it's from if it's not Tim Holtz, it's somebody else. I can't remember, you guys. This is from the Tim Holtz Halloween paper pack. I cut out a bunch of these little funeral tags and made a little doily tuck spot using the doilies I got from JunkThatTreasures. She's also an Etsy seller, and I'll link all the Etsy sellers I'm talking about down below. Here's a page from that journal. It came with a bunch of really cool quotes on it, so I added a bunch of those into this, and then did some more stenciling in the back. And then another stamp. This is a recollection stamp. And then made a corner pocket with some suede, some of that leftover suede I had, and a piece of ephemera. These rub-ons are, they're 7 Gypsies rub-ons. They have a parchment rub-on, you guys. If you've never tried them, they're really awesome. I recommend it. They have a bunch of different packages out now. And there's another charm. This was my favorite page from the kit, so I featured it in the middle of the signature. I just added some lace and this pocket that I got from JunkThatTreasures too, and I inked it and edged it with some Inca Gold in hematite, and then I glossy accented the picture of Edgar Allan Poe. And here is a paperclip from my Shank button tutorial. And then inside is just another sheet of that journal paper. And then this fell out. This heart was part of the kit. And then here's some washi tape. A little owl brow I added in. And some more stamping. A little hiding raven back here. And then this is a quadruple pocket, I guess, card that I made. It has some ephemera. And then I added the first page of the raven in larger print so she could read it all. And then the second page is later on in the book. Some more ephemera. And some more of those journal pages. So there's 4 pockets here. I don't remember where I saw this tutorial. I saw it a long, long time ago. And I had some of these already made that I just ended up using for the kit. And, you know, decorated with some pictures and some buttons. And this gorgeous lady. And I stamped everything in either red archival ink or black archival ink, and then everything is edged with some black soot chalk ink from Prima, or the black distress ink. There's another clip with another charm on it. Another page from that journal. In the charm is a quote from Edgar Allan Poe. I got these on AliExpress.com for like $1. They were pretty cheap, so it's fun. These are architectures from 7 Gypsies. They're like little stickers that you can color and ink up and add to your projects. They're also repositionable, so Shayna can actually lift this up and put her pictures underneath these feathers and then stick them back down if she wants. And then some more of that velvet paper, the other side of that envelope. I just printed up a bunch of quotes and inked them up and added it in. And then this is a clip from the Telltale Heart that came in Amy's kit. And then a lace pocket, and I added a metal charm too. And there's another journal page with a paper clip and an altered playing card that I backed with some black gesso and inked it. If she can write on this with a gel pen, I'm actually going to send her one. And then this pretty paper that I love, I think I got it at Tuesday morning. And maybe that's not ink splatter. It's not as artful as Dolly's blood spatter, but I thought it was fun. And then there's 2 inserts that I added into this. This book actually has 3 signatures and a total of 176 pages front and back. But this insert I got from a tutorial from Bohemian Crafting from Miss Ava, and it was a lot of fun. It folds out here. There's 2 journal cards. And then this paper also has some velvet on it. And then in this part, this all folds out, and then I embossed this in black and then kind of went over it with some more silver wax. And it's got just some tags and some more of that funeral advertisement ephemera. And then a tag here that I covered in vellum. And then embossed a skull underneath. Flip it over. There's some more tags here. Some skeletons. And right here is a quote. It says, "At my chamber door." These were the clipping stickers from Tim Holtz for Halloween, and they're really neat, you guys. If you have the chance, pick them up because they have some really cool words on them. And then back here is a little secret card that says "Watching and Waiting." That's another Edgar Allan Poe quote. Little raven. And then there's some pockets up top with some more tags. And I tried out a bunch of different tutorials making this journal. Just had a bunch that were just sitting in my to-try pile, and I hadn't got to it yet. So this time I did. I don't remember how I folded that the first time. This page I lined with some lace. And then here's a pocket that I got from Kim at Serene Bookworks in a Happy Mail she just sent me. So I inked that up and stamped it and stuck it in here and just filled it with another one of those journal sheets. And then here's one of those moments that I geeked out about. I made an actual pendulum from the pit in the pendulum. And then I just gilded it the same way that I gild my note cards. So if you guys are interested in that, I have a tutorial on that too. I don't know, I had a lot of fun just making this. And then there's some more paper. I know Shayna doesn't use her journals to write a lot, but I can't seem to make a journal without lots of writing space, so this one has tons of it. There's a pocket with another one of those lace flowers on it, and a piece of raven ephemera. This one actually has the poem on the back, so I thought that was pretty neat. It's a belly band, I don't know, I called it a pocket. Some more stamping. Did some stenciling here, and then made this flip up with this triangle piece that, I don't know, Shayna sent it to me. I don't actually know what it was supposed to be, but it flips up and she can tuck something underneath here. This is another Inka Dinka Doo stamp, which I really love. And then there's some coffee dyed vellum, and another page, and the paper clip, and then the second quadruple pocket with more of that ephemera, and the second page of the raven. And then another piece. This one has a quote from the Telltale Heart, which is probably in my top 3 Edgar Allan Poe stories. And then I stamped this lamppost here and a little raven on it. And then here is a CD pocket that I got from JunkThatTreasures, and it has a card inside. And another little charm. This one has a little skull on it. And then there's a tuck spot back here with another journal sheet. And this beautiful lady here. And then some more washi on this side. Getting kind of crooked. And then another rub-on. And then here's the second paper bag pocket that I made. It has a tuck spot in the front. A tag here. There's some embossing back here, and a sheet of paper for her to write on. And then this is my favorite page that I made. I didn't have any wood plank paper, so I had to go back and draw the planks in myself and color it and add the nails. And then I added quotes from the Telltale Heart, because those of you who have read it, spoilers, the heart is underneath the floor. So I made a card for that, and I just really loved it. I don't know, I had a lot of fun making this journal, you guys. And then this is a piece of lace that Kim sent me in her last Happy Mail, and I added that to this page and just put a little quote behind it. There's some stamping. This is a Blue Fern Studio stamp. And then here's Annabelle Lee again. This is actually a copy of what he wrote with his own handwriting, and so it's got his name on it, his signature, and you can't really read it, but I just thought it was a really cool piece of ephemera, and that came in Amy's kit. And then behind here is this beautiful magnolia, and those are one of Shayna's favorite flowers, so this kit couldn't have been more perfect if I tried. She does great work, guys. And then another charm, and another one of those pins from AliExpress, some washi tape. All these little papers like this are actually some handmade paper that I got in a big packet from Tuesday morning. Another charm. This lace and the purple and the gray lace I dyed myself, which I for some reason enjoyed dyeing lace more than I enjoyed dyeing paper, so I didn't actually do any coffee dye paper for this. And this is a Prima stencil. And Recollection stamp. Their Halloween stamps this year are really great. You guys, I recommend picking those up. But this house is kind of broken down, haunted looking. Reminds me of the house in the fall of the House of Usher, which is another one of my favorite stories. There's a clear pocket envelope here that I put a little skull behind. And then another quote. I did a bunch of wax seals, and I posted those on my Instagram. I'll put my Instagram handle down below for those of you guys who want to start following me. I post all my progress pictures down there, and then also notifications for when I post new videos and stuff like that. And then on the other side of this envelope is a little angel that I embossed, made into a belly band, and then I made a doily envelope with one of those wax seals. I use the letter P because that's, you know, for Mr. Poe, but it's also the first letter of my first name, you guys, so it just worked out really perfect. And then, because Shayna was the one who inspired me to start making videos and posting my tutorials, I'm just really afraid of tearing this envelope. I added in the Gilded Notecards from my first tutorial for her, and I stamped and inked them up so that they would match the kit. Because if it wasn't for Miss Shayna, I would not be here on YouTube. And then there's just another one of those journal pages back here. And then this was an accident. I accidentally sprayed this, caught this when I was doing some more spraying on the paper, so I kept it because I thought it looked pretty cool. Some more washi tape here. And then some more of this. This trim I got from Target last year for Halloween, and this is the first time I've used it, and I liked it. I cut it up all jagged and stuff. And then there's a pen nib here. I didn't have a red mask, so it's not exactly accurate, but there's a story by Edgar that's called The Mask of the Red Death, and so I added this in here. It's actually not totally attached, so she can use it as a tuck if she wants. And then behind it is another side-loading pocket with another quote. And then that's the end of the second signature. And then in here is the second insert, which I made using the tutorial from Dreamz Etc. I showed a really cool like signature page tutorial, and I added a feather to this. This page actually comes in the Dreadful Hour kit from Hapa Chic Creative. I added a couple of those pages in. Obviously, this one went really well. Some of those were match this kit, so I added those in too. And then in this insert there is a quote from the Black Cat, and I added a little cat in here, and I glossy accented his eyes. And then behind this pillar is a little tag, and it just unties here. And on this side is a journal card with one of the graph paper index cards that Shayna sent me. Oh, and there's a little sneaky kitty back here too. Those of you who don't really know Edgar Allan Poe very well might be surprised to know that he was a huge animal lover and owned many pets, but his favorite was the cat. So I added a bunch of cats in here because of that. He and I had something in common. I love cats. And then here's some history on Edgar Allan Poe that came with that journal that I got from Half Price Books. And then here's the first pocket. And behind it is a tag pocket with a wax seal. And then some washi behind it and one of those journal pages. And then there's this little flip here, which just has some leftover coffee dyed paper I had that I stenciled and added in. And then I backed it with a page from the kit. And then here's the second pocket with the second tag pocket. Another one of those seals. Some more paper and some more washi. And then just a frame that I made here, and put a tag behind that I embossed with this little girl. She was a strange little girl indeed. And that's a tag that she can write on. And then on the back is another page from that Dreadflower kit. All the script is embossed on this little book. And then over here, you guys might have seen this on Instagram, the Cask of Amontillado, which I know I'm not pronouncing right, is one of his stories, and in it Fortunato, poor Fortunato, gets buried behind a brick wall because he angered the protagonist. And in here is a tag in which I included a quote from the Cask of Amontillado. And I had a lot of fun making this sliding pocket. I first saw the tutorial for this on Bohemian Crafting on Ava's channel, and have since been making them for every journal I make because I just really think they're really fun. And then here is a coffee filter pocket with a tag and another altered playing card. Shayna sent me this coffee filter pocket too. I don't actually sew, you guys, so all the cool sewing details came from Shayna because she sews a bunch of crazy stuff. So I colored this and stamped it, and now she gets it back. And then here's another rub-on. And I sprayed this piece of paper and added one of these flip-down pockets again. There comes with another card. And then there's a key and a little piece of lace mesh here. And then a belly band that says Nevermore. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's in silver. It's embossed. And then a pocket that's also embossed in silver. And behind here is an envelope with another seal and some more of that swirly paper. The book actually does lay flat and opens really nicely when it doesn't have all of this stuff stuffed in here. But all this stuff is really fun, so of course we're going to keep it in here. And then there is another one of those funeral director ads. Another lace tuck spot from JunkThatTreasures. And some heart anatomy stamps. And a piece of ephemera. And some silver splatter this time. And then this is a sheet of acetate. And it's really great. Raven on a mausoleum. More paper to write on. There's a tag here. Another paper clip. And a piece of ephemera. And that little girl again. Some more handmade paper. And then here's the eye. This was actually a lot of fun. It's the main component in the Telltale Heart, and why he ends up killing the old man is because of his creepy eye, because it just seemed to follow him even onto the next page. And then there's some washi tape girls I added to this, the center of the third signature. I don't know why I decided to tie lace into all my signatures, but that was just what I did for this journal. And then here's the second CD sleeve with another card. Ended up glossy accenting the vines here. And then this also flips over. And the other side of that page is here. And then there is a tuck spot with another Gilded Note card. Some more washi tape. And then a mini little one of those quadruple pockets, but I ended up gluing the back down, so it's only a triple pocket with my last altered playing card and a piece of ephemera. And then from this side, this little portrait of Mr. Poe himself, and of course with his cat. And then there's another charm. The other side of that acetate page. More of those skull stamps. The other side of this envelope. And there's the other doily pocket I made. Oh, with one more altered card. I forgot that was in here. And then this page has another piece of lace that I got from Kim in that Happy Mail, with another quote behind it, and I just really like this paper. It's all glittery. And, oh, skipping pages now. There's a piece of lace that I stuck to this page. And then this is the last page with a quote on it. And this skull paper. And then back here is a gatefold card that I made. It's a little bit too big to stick to the pages, but I stuck it to the back of this and added a clip with a charm on it. And like I said, The Fall of the House of Usher is one of my favorite stories, you guys. So I added the house from The Fall of the House of Usher. And it actually works as a pocket for her to tuck extra stuff into. And then it has the sister, who, spoiler alert, dies. Everybody dies, except for the narrator.